Greetings, my fellow gamers. It is I, Wraith King, and welcome back to the Dark Kingdom. But before I begin, I have to give my cousin a shout-out because he has started his own channel. I love him. He is a very great guy. He's been reviewing anime lately. I just had to give him a shout-out because I know you guys love anime. And I like watching his videos too. He gives some pretty detailed reviews on some good anime. So check out his channel. I'll leave a link in the description for you guys to click on and sub to him. Please do. He's a cool guy. But here in the Dark Kingdom, just in case you are new, I like to talk about anime games. I play them, and I review them every once in a while. I like to play my favorite anime games, talk about their updates, not just anime games, but games in general. Could be God of War. I have a video planned for that this week. So be sure to check that out when it is released. But until then, my fellow gamers, enjoy the video. Please do kick back and relax. Because here in the Dark Kingdom, everybody is royalty. Greetings, my fellow gamers. It is I, Wraith King, and welcome back to the Dark Kingdom. Today, we're going to take a look at the brand new character. But before I begin, I have to say, if you are new here, I do like to take a look at the newer characters in this game. I like to check out other games too, don't worry, there are plenty of other games I like to play on the channel here. I just like to review this game every once in a while, it's a lot of fun.
저에겐 지켜야만 하는 게 있습니다.
You know, I legit thought this guy was a girl. When I looked at the patch notes, I just saw a face, I thought he was a woman.
Did you hear that? Wraith King is assuming somebody's gender in 2020!
What his passive does is he increases magic attack of all allies by 20%. He has a formation change immunity, and he grants this to all allies. That's actually pretty decent, especially in PvE. I have noticed a lot of that in PvE. Not a whole bunch in PvP, but it's there. When it's there, it's not much of a problem, because at the end of the day, everybody has their formations maxed out. So when your formation is changed, it doesn't really do much. I mean, your win condition might change a little bit. Let's say you're like me and has Dylan's win condition team. Then if he's moved from the back to the front, that might change a little bit, but not much, because Dylan still hits like a truck either way. He also has a damage reflect by 50% of the damage received, and he has a survival effect, which we will be talking about in a minute. So he is basically a mage with no void shield, and your top of the line typical survival effect that's probably not going to help much. You know, for being on a list of demon lords, I feel like he should have just a little bit more to him. What his extremely original survival effect does is he survives with 1 HP one time. And he recovers himself based on 100% of his magic attack. Okay. What his Mythic Awakened basic attack does is he deals 150% magic damage to the target. He also deals 70% of his magic damage to 2 enemies with the highest attack. And he decreases their Mythic Awakened gauge recovery rate by 3, which means he basically just turns their Mythic Awakened gauge into a Rudy Mythic Awakened gauge, which is actually pretty dang good. It really does slow the fight down. But that's probably the most interesting thing about this character. I'm just going to say that right now. Let's take a look at his first active, and you'll see what I mean. His first active deals 350% magic damage to 3 enemies. Second effect? Just make a wild guess what the second effect is. He reduces their turn buffs by 2 turns. And the debuff is an AoE, so it targets everybody! I know, that's really different. You know what I really like? The fact that he deals damage. You know what I really like about this character so far? Is the fact that he deals damage. So cool. Alright, now for his second active ability. This is probably the coolest one right here. As he deals 100% piercing magic damage to 3 enemies. 3 times. And it's a guaranteed chance to crit. I know, it's... For someone to be labeled as a demon lord, this guy is so interesting. Like, everything about his skills so far have been the pinnacle, the prime of Seven Knights. Like, this is why I play the game right here. It's damage and piercing. It's so good. This is why I like Talon so much, because of the penetration on his abilities. It has nothing to do with his gripping story, the fact that he's been affected by the death of his fiancée for hundreds and hundreds of years. It has nothing to do with the fact that he has unique abilities and a Mythic Awakened skill that allows him to transform and have more unique abilities. It has nothing to do with that at all. But as for his Mythic Awakened ability, what he does is he just deals 160% magic damage to all enemies 2 times. At level 46, this goes up to 180% magic damage. And he deals additional damage to the target's max HP by 20%. At level 50, this is the only thing that would make this skill even remotely good. This actually should have been the default for it. It should have just been on the skill. The second effect is it grants him a resurrection crystal. I mean, that's not strong. It really isn't. But it'll keep him alive longer. Oh, and his Mythic Awakened item gives him plus 500 attack, plus 20% block rate, plus 20% debuff resist rate. And that's all fine and dandy. I have a very specific opinion about this character that I will be sharing after we see his animations.
이건 어떠신가요?
Sweet, that looked really cool.
빛이여 내리쳐라. 도와주실 수 있나요? 그럼 갑니다.
Ooh.
방법이 없군. 나와주세요. 꺼져라.
Ooh.
눈을 떠라. 그리고 전율하라.
You know what? I see an opportunity in this character that was missed so hard. Okay, let me just go to my overall opinion on the character. Why couldn't he just transform? Why couldn't he transform into his the dark version of himself? That would have been so cool. His awakened skill could have been he did that damage, gave himself a resurrection stone, but he transformed into a dark version of himself, making his attacks more aggressive. And maybe you could change the way his original attacks were to something more supportive. That would have been excellent. I'm just giving you guys these ideas, aren't I? But really, it's just this is why I slowed down with Seven Knights, is because they're releasing practically the same characters over and over again with these offensive characters. It's like, I don't want to say they've ran out of ideas, because you can't. Like, as an artist, there's always going to be something you can paint that's different. There's always going to be an idea that you have not done before. You just have to dig for it. But here, I guess it's just there's so much you can do with the characters you have and the mechanics you have without spending forever with programming. And I think they want to update this game practically weekly. They want to give us all these new characters, but I would really like it if they just spent more time on the game with creating new and unique characters. Something different, something unusual, instead of these same old characters we've been seeing all the time. Now, these characters look different, don't get me wrong, but I've seen those effects on other characters too. That's the reason I was being so sarcastic about it, is because I have seen so many characters like this released, and they're not even special heroes. I really was hoping that this character is going to be the person that brings back the whole Seven Knights crowd again, because he's one of the Demon Lords. He's one of the main villains of the universe here. But his skills just aren't anything that great. Why would I put him on my team? All of these characters are taken out of mythology. Now, I'm not sure about this guy. I've never really heard of him before in mythology, even though I know a lot about the monsters like Fenrir. I know about the Fire Giant. I know about all those guys. But this guy, I don't really know too much about. But by the looks of it, you guys really could have done something more with him if you just spent some more time. Just let it cook in the oven a little bit longer, because these guys, they're supposedly some of the main villains of the game. And for them to have skills that aren't very unique, something that's not very different, it's a bit of a turnoff. That being said, the game still isn't bad. It's just that I think at the end of the day, we just need a Seven Knights 2. I think that's what really just needs to happen at this point. Seven Knights is a good game, but it really is starting to get old, and I think even some of the creators are starting to see that slowly but surely. They really do just need to go ahead and start working on a global Seven Knights 2. But in the meantime, that's all the time I have left for this video, my fellow gamers. I hope you enjoyed it. Please do take it easy for me, and developers, if you are watching this, please don't take my criticism personally. Well, I'm just saying that I do enjoy Seven Knights, but I really do think there should be a lot more to it, and a lot more to some of these wonderful characters that you are releasing, because I do believe that all of these characters you've released have huge potential to be something so much more than what their skills are, and I hope that you guys do come out with more unique characters with some different skills, something that's a little more unusual, and please do take your time on it. You don't have to release things every week. I would love for you guys to just sit on some ideas and think about it for a little while and work on it and release it whenever you're ready. But in the meantime, my fellow gamers, take it easy for me, and please, please do have a blessed day. Bye.